pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Start this meeting off with abstracts, payments, and invoices. Everybody had a chance to take a look them over.
I move that we pay our bills this month.
Second.
Motion made second to pay the invoices and abstracts and everything. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We're going to go now over to department heads. Wastewater. Steve, did you want to go over that?
Yes. The wastewater treatment plant requests that the board please authorize sewer equipment to pull non-potable plant water pump to transport to their shop for repair estimate. The cost of this work will be $4,881, paid for out of Fund G08130.515, which is 100% New York City cost. Can I make a motion?
Yes, let's do the motion one at a time.
I second. Thank you.
Motion made and seconded
New
to
York City cost.
take care of the non-potable water pump. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The second request, and the final request from the wastewater treatment plant, is to have the board authorize purchase of a Belimo air actuator for the aeration blowers from Turnkey Controls. The cost for parts and labor for this project are estimated to be $2,680, paid for out of Fund G as in George 08130.415/515. This is an 80% village, 20% DEP cost. The blowers have to be replaced.
No, the actuator does.
The actuator. What did I say, the blowers? I'm sorry.
That's the actuator for the blower. That's okay.
So I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to pay to have the actuator installed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I have nothing further.
I will say that there was one note on here that Kraft didn't have a spill, but because the proper procedures was followed from Kraft, letting everybody know what happened, they contained the spill, so it didn't become a big problem over there, which is good. Any other comments on wastewater, Steve?
Say it again.
Any other comments on wastewater? All right, we'll go to Delaware Engineering. Bill online, is he? So he's going to try to jump on Zoom. Nope. Okay, fine.
You got the report?
Yeah, we have to from all this different stuff that's got to be done through Delaware Engineering. They did look at the grit screw, and they are going to try to get that, and they recommended that the village board authorize the clerk to issue a purchase order to the McCry Construction for the grit screw repairs at the rate of $2,000 per day for 4-man crew, which is half. They're giving us a discount on that. So we're going to need a motion for that.
The purchase order, I believe, is for $985 for the replacement parts.
Yep.
And that's for a different company. That's for the
Oh, you're right. The other one is from the other
WTP equipment
Yep.
part.
And then Zachary's the one that's...
Yep, they're going to do the installation. So let's do two separate motions on that. The first one will be for the replacement parts.
I move that we authorize the clerk to issue the purchase order for the WTP equipment port for the replacement parts at $985.
Second. Okay, motion made, seconded to authorize that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we'll go to the second one for the other purchase order. Need a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to authorize the repair.
Back reconstruction, screw repairs, 2,000 a day. How many days is that?
I think there may be one
I
day.
think it's been 1 day.
That'd be nice.
Yep.
I'd second.
Okay, motion made, seconded to authorize that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
They'll be able to repair that as a replacement.
Yeah, which
Yeah, it was,
was 100, over
the
100,000.
grease line got broken, so very went dry. The rest of them, it wasn't like we had to replace them.
That's good. That's awesome.
Any other questions on Bill's report?
No.
Okay.
Excited to see some drainage work done on Shepherd Street.
That's what's coming up.
Hasn't happened yet.
No, but it's in the sites for this month.
Yeah.
Here's right up to Butch's report from the DPW. Everybody's had a chance to look at that. Looks like we're gonna do some stump grinding, leak detections, do some stuff down off the Lincoln Park. Gonna work on the meter issues, do some mowing, and we're gonna try to start the drainage up on Shepherd Street and West Street, both of those streets. There is one thing that is in the budget, but we need to do a purchase order for this too. It's the Shimon Supply Corporation for the guide rails installation on Water Street. And the one little section up on Franklin, goes on that corner. That's $5,000, and that was already budgeted for, so we just need to have a motion for that. We can go ahead with it.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to go ahead and get the purchase order for the $5,000 for Shimon Supply Corporation to do the guide rails. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Already budgeted for is my second favorite phrase after 100% New York City cost.
All right, now we'll go on to code. Chance to look at Steve's report.
About the same.
Yep. He did get our, some of the flood work that we had done. He's got all the paperwork done I signed the other day so that we go in for the, well, it had to be in before the beginning of the month. So he made that deadline. And just waiting to hear back if there's anything that has to be done. Police department. Got the sheet on the calls.
We're hoping to get an answer back from the county on purchasing replacement vehicles.
Lease them.
Program. Hopefully, it's supposed to have been discussed with the county today. People have an answer by tomorrow. There's money in the budget to pay for it. Doesn't increase our taxes. That should make everybody happy. You pay for it over a period of time, rather than pay for the vehicle, time of purchase, every shot.
Right.
And if we do it that way, it increases everything, or don't, and the vehicle increases the taxes.
Just an FYI, they had a grand total of 458 calls in July.
That seems like a lot.
Not typical. If you look at every month on there, you got a lot of them to do. All right, let's go to trustees' reports. What, you have something else?
Yes, for the range. You wanted to
Oh,
do.
that's right, I forgot, because I don't have it right here in front of me. The chief wants to have permission to send the guys up to the range sometime in September. They're not on the date and time when they're going to do it, but he just wants to get some guys up to the range. They have to go and qualify and stuff, so need permission for that.
Motion. Make a motion to do
Second.
Motion made, seconded for giving the chief permission to send the guys up to the range in September. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, let's go to trustees' reports. start up with you, Steve. Anything?
No, I just have those two requests that weren't really mine, but
Your departments. Dick, anything under the?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Mr. Ball?
I just wanted to add that anyone who did receive notices for meter, addressing the repairs to the meter, please make that appointment. Help conserve our water supply.
Well, while you're talking about that, I'll say that to the cameras, that we're not in a drought situation. The water table's good. It's not great, but if you could, please conserve water. Go through your house, check on leaks, tighten up some of your drips and stuff that may be in the house. Maybe not water your lawn as much and stuff like that. Just kind of be a little proactive is what we're trying to do. So, thank you for that. Thank you.
While we're talking about water, I want to make a number of the wall.
That's all, it's online, and he said it was,
Everything's fine, so the wall's been repaired.
We're all been repaired, and it's been running, and it was, like he said last time, it was 400 some odd gallon a minute, but he's gonna turn it back down just a little bit, but.
very well.
Yep. So, it's all working well right now. What they did, the repairs and stuff, seem to be working out pretty good. Yeah, hold up, chief.
Well, the theater is obviously very quiet right now because of the COVID, so there's not much going on there. The balcony is almost done, but they're at a standstill at the moment.
Yeah.
It was in the paper about the concession stand.
Well, they've been having concession stand open for a couple of hours, like on a weekend, to sell like movie popcorn and things for people to take home and enjoy their home movies.
Yep.
So you can enjoy like movie theater popcorn at home. It's better than nothing. You know. The parks are humming along. We have our field hockey and basketball and arts and crafts going. Pool's open every day at 1 o'clock. They have done some work to the tennis court. They've done some patching with the blacktop. It's not done yet. It's not ready, but you know, we hope soon. And that's kind of where we're at.
Now, the DPW did get the water working, and have a faucet in the Bedford Park?
Yes.
Because I thought that was a farmer's market.
Yeah, there's a water
They did not
faucet.
know they had water.
Oh.
They questioned that.
I probably should have told them that.
No,
They said, I thought they put it down, I don't know where it is.
It's right next to the pavilion.
Right next to the
Okay,
pavilion.
so they were not aware.
Yep.
That was,
There's a spigot there, and it is working. Anything else?
No, sir.
Then we'll wait to the mayor's report. One of the things we have to do is change our September meeting. Now, I was thinking, and I don't know what everybody else's schedule is, in September, because September 7th is Labor Day.
Labor Day.
I was thinking of doing it Friday the 4th at 10 in the morning. People, can you do that on Friday morning again?
Yeah, I can make that.
Do that.
Yes. Okay.
So it's 9/4?
9/4 at 10 a.m. All right. That's taken care of. Well, more than likely, unless things change, we'll probably still have Zoom, so we'll be doing that. Next thing is we got to do the election inspectors appointments for the election for the village trustees for September 15th. So we have to appoint Maxine Loker, Joan Pomeroy, and Amy Stanley.
Joanne Palmer.
Oh, that's double in. Sorry.
She was my kindergarten teacher.
So we need to have a motion and
I would make that motion.
Second.
motion made second to appoint the election inspectors. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And then on the 15th.
Yes, September 15th, unless they change it again. But
It's
there-
kind of too late to change it because it's time to put the notice in the newspaper, so.
That's our next thing, is we have to publish the election notice in the paper for September 15, noon to 9 p.m.
We need to have this election before the next election rolls around.
Yeah, you're right. So,
Do we need a motion? I'll make a motion.
Second.
motion made and seconded to publish an election notice in the newspaper. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Court, JCAP grant. The judge, I think he's looking into doing a grant. It was for, well, they really don't know what the total will be, but right now what he's looking to do is for air conditioning for upstairs. So we're gonna have to figure out when we can do this, and we'll have to figure it in probably the next year's budget. I don't know how the grant works in that part.
Yeah, because didn't it like,
He can apply, if he applies for the grant, doesn't mean he has to take it, because we have to match it.
We have to match costs,
it
right?
doesn't.
Well, we don't have to match,
No.
it could be anything. If they puts in for the $24,000 and they get awarded the grant, they may only give 6, 8, 10, whatever, then we have to do the balance.
So we would be on the hook, we'd be committed to spend the balance of...
Or we would just have to refuse the grant.
We can turn down the grant.
Oh,
Which probably wouldn't look good if you really wanted to do another grant through them. So
well, here
I'm
we
think-
are with our hands tied.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, if we're going to try to do this, that we get this set in the court's budget for next year. So if he goes ahead and applies for it, and we get it, we'll at least have a portion of that to take care of it.
I like the idea of shopping around a bit more too for something like that. It seems excessive to
At
me.
that price, we'd have to get bids on it.
Yeah.
But there would be, some other solutions to air conditioning that area.
From what I understand,
That's
the
cost.
24,000 was one of the lower numbers
For that system, though, not.
that they've already asked around.
Right, but for that style of system, maybe there's other systems that don't cost $30,000.
Jody, are we allowed to bond?
The problem this is gonna be, because I asked Chad, like the time frames kind of thing, because I knew this was gonna be a problem. And he wrote back that he would need approval for the end of August if the board decides to move forward. He would submit the grant in September. We would learn if we get the grant in February, March. And then we have to prove that we've done the project, and that would need to go back to them by mid-June. So that's only gonna give us a couple weeks, because our budget would not kick in until June 1st. And mid-June, it would only give us like 2 weeks to get the whole project done.
Hesitant to get locked into.
So what would the board like to do?
Yeah, that's dicey. If it's not done by mid-June, then we lose the money. I'm not sure on that one. Like you say, if we apply for the grant and then don't use it, it's problematic for applying for future ones.
It's the way I see it.
Because we haven't.
It's coming from the JCAP, which I'm not even sure what to call that.
Did he just recently apply for a JCAP grant for the improvements upstairs?
That was a couple years ago.
Did they give us anything? Yeah, they did. But we had to wait a long time.
Just like now.
Yeah.
Because you got that time period for everybody to do everything they have to do.
They changed the way they're doing it. Before they would just, they would give you the money and the village would be responsible to make up the difference.
If you do whatever you did with what you had, they give you 10,000, then this is what you spent. Where now would be put in for 25, 24,000, they gave us 10, there's 14,000 scheduled pay out. Unless I'm misunderstanding something, that's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to do?
It says that we would be awarded up to 30,000 per tour, which is great. But
Doesn't mean that that's what you're gonna get.
Right. What's the deadline to apply for this grant?
End of August.
Yep, he's got to submit it in September.
Oh, great, so it's now.
I assume he'll have to submit that quote with his proposal. So that would, in theory, just kind of lock in the conversation. This is what we're pursuing. I don't want to be on the hook for thousands of dollars that something we have to come up with.
Does the comptroller's office allow us to bond for a project like this? I don't remember if we can do that. Like, in other words, bond it until we figure out how it could go into the budget, because we can't figure that out now.
Right, but we don't need money now. We wouldn't need money until next spring. Until June.
Yeah, right around when we're trying to figure out how to not raise people's taxes again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I just thought it would be easier to bond the balance of what we didn't get in grant money, that would stave off having to pull funds from sources we don't have. It'd just be another bill. But I don't know if we can do that.
I mean, if we applied for 24,000, they came up with, yeah. Does it say we have to spend $24,000?
Richard, the way I was understanding, I could be wrong, but I thought that if that's what your project was,
Right.
because before they used to, like Jody said, when they did some other projects, you just applied and whatever they gave you, that's what you used. It wasn't like you get half of it or a quarter or whatever, you have to make up the balance.
I mean, if we can get it set up with the contractor, we should be able to get it installed within, a couple-week period, if they know that this is when we're gonna do it.
So you want to do, you want to have
If-
Chad go ahead with this, or do you want to
Yeah,
not?
if we're gonna keep a village court, then it needs to be, suitable to operate in the hot months.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
Then do that.
I would make a motion to apply for grant.
Second.
Second.
Motion made, second to have Judge apply for the grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay.
Abstain.
Abstained? Okay.
We can't pay for it.
Next one is the school tax collection dates. They want to use the room up here again. We're looking at September 11th, September 25th, and October 30th. We need a motion for them to use the building, or use the room up here.
So
I'll
moved.
make a motion.
Second.
Motion made second to go ahead and let the school use this for tax collection on the dates of September 11th, September 25th, and October 30th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, the next is the policy on the time clock. It was sent out last meeting we had, and we had a few changes on to it. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at it? Everybody comfortable with the policy?
Yeah.
Okay. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to take the time clock and sign-in policy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Jody, what's the next one? The retention schedule?
Yep, that's our retention schedule. It used to be called the Avenue 1, now I guess they're gonna call it LGS 1, local government. The board just needs to adopt this policy, so that this is how we will follow how we keep records, how long we keep the records, so.
Any motion on that? Motion.
Second?
Motion made, seconded to go to the new retention schedule. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And last but not least is Derek. The cruise, what did you find out?
Yes.
I think we had something that you from
Yep.
Mercy. I think it's pretty much saying it's just making sure that everybody more or less pays attention to the social distancing and masks and whatever has to be done. I know they've done other stuff down there, so we need to have a motion for them to do the cruise that they're going to do.
Oh, I would certainly
Just make sure, I mean, heard the attorney's email stressing the importance for those restrictions. We don't want to have a scenario where it's a free-for-all. So if you can just communicate that great organizers.
The cruise is never, people aren't packed in together anyway. They're all spread out all around the plaza when they get there.
And I don't think they're going to stop and do trophies or anything, is what she said.
Yeah, I know, that's what I heard. I'm disappointed.
So
I like going down there and playing music.
the letter says it's between 3 and 8. But do we know when the actual cruise is gonna be so that we can, like, let the chief know and the fire chief?
How did they handle the,
It says here on August 15th, the light lineup will begin at 6 at the fair. So I don't know why they had that time. I didn't see that length of time. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. I could see maybe the 8 p.m., but I don't know why it's so early on the start.
So maybe that should have been a 6.
Well, naturally, they're gonna have, they're not said they want to have vendors. What they usually do is park a bunch of cars down there, and everybody wanders around with them.
Right.
Then they do the cruise.
This here,
They do
they're,
it out, that's on the fairgrounds, that's nothing to do with us.
but they're not doing any of like the car show. It's just strictly a cruise is all they wanted to do this year
But they're lining up where?
at the fairgrounds.
When they line up, that's a car show,
There you go.
whether it is or it isn't.
So what would the board like to do? Permission to go ahead and do the cruise?
I want to authorize them to do as much as they can get away with.
Well, all you're really doing is authorizing me
Need to do
to
the
file
permit.
for the permit.
Yep.
I would absolutely move to authorize that.
I mean, the permit has to come from the state, right? So
Yeah, it's New York State DOT.
we're just requesting that you take anything out.
Right. Regulated at that point too.
Okay.
It's a great thing to do.
Had a motion?
Motion's made.
second?
Motion made second, that Jody do the permit for the car cruise. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Unless somebody has something else to go on here, do you have anything else? We've had 2 extra meetings this last month, so let's shorten it up.
The only thing that you ought to mention, the article in the World Report that we're buying something from Brooklyn Boundary Company is in here. We're selling something. It's not a purchase, it's a sale.
Did they use the word undisclosed object?
Undisclosed piece of equipment for non-disclosed price. It's an excess piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's costing us money.
It's pieces of
that we
equipment. We
can't
went through,
use.
we went through and itemized everything that was gonna be, so yeah, it's,
But the big thing is, it's not, we're not buying something.
Selling,
we're selling.
We're selling.
unloading excess equipment.
It's not undisclosed. It's, what's the word?
It was
Excess.
70,000.
Excess.
Yes,
Yeah.
70,000 for the village.
Yes.
Ka-ching.
And it was all in the minutes from the prior meeting.
That someone who wrote that article neglected to read.
The staff reporter didn't say who did it.
Yeah, they were just going by my minutes. My minutes were a little bit vague.
Oh, okay.
Going back and reading them, it's like, oh,
They
okay.
could have asked.
Thank you.
So yeah, again, that's selling. I think we all said it.
Yeah, there's been no buying extra.
Getting some of our taxpayer dollars back.
which will be probably used over at the treatment plant anyway.
Thank you,
so-
Dick.
All right. Nothing further from anybody? Once, twice, three times? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.